Hey folks, this is the other Barack coming to you live and direct from an undisclosed location. We have this YouTuber asking Jordan Peterson, what does he think about these theories that Jewish people run the world? Let's listen to Jordan Peterson, and as always, talk about it after.
Okay, what do you think about these theories that are kind of going around right now that Jewish Zionists control the world? What do you think about people that are saying that?
Well, they've been saying it for like 2,000 years, so it's a quick way for dimwits to gain moral virtue at the expense of other people.
Do you believe in that stuff? Because it's gaining a lot of popularity, and why do you think narratives like that may not be true stick on and gain so much popularity? I see on Twitter all that stuff, but that's not necessarily to say it's true, but it spreads like wildfire. So why do you think that narrative in specific, that Jewish people control the world?
It's easy for people to find someone to blame.
Right.
Rather than trying to do something useful themselves.
So it's like scapegoating kind of.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a classic example of that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, thanks so much.
Well, we've seen throughout history that it's always been really easy to blame the Jews for everything. For everything that has gone wrong, it's always been easy to blame the Jews. You have to ask yourself, where does this come from? When you have someone like Hitler who got up on a global stage and influenced millions of people, tens of millions of people, not just within the borders of Germany, and convinced them that the Jew is not allowed, that the Jew is a threat, that the Jew is evil, that the Jew lies, that the Jew is not loyal, that the Jew is a negative asset to humanity, that the Jew does not belong. When you write a book about this, when you publish a publication, when you actually live this ideology and you have people under your wing, that does not just dissipate after time. That sticks. Hitler's not alive, but his ideology still remains. And it didn't just start with Hitler, but he amplified to the world why it is important to pass along and carry on and continue this idea of all that I just mentioned before. And that is a massive contribution as to why throughout history you see, and it was inevitable, by the way, whether it was Hitler or Schmittler, if you have somebody who's on the right, if you have somebody who's on the left, if you have somebody who is white, if you have somebody who is black, if you have somebody who is Christian, if you have somebody who is Muslim, American, European, man, woman, gay, straight, you're never going to have a consensus amongst all differences to agree on one thing. It's inevitable. That's what humanity is. That's what differences are. We thrive on having these different perspectives on life. But the Jewish issue has always been a scapegoat for many people to instead not audit themselves, not audit their own civilization, not audit their own ethnicity, not audit their own people, not audit their own government, not audit their own issues, but find the same race that at one point in time, and now we see today, is so easy to blame for the world's issues. America funding the Zionist regime, the Zionist entity. They are thieves. They're stealing our money. They're stealing our tax money. The Jews control the media because everything that we see in the world is blamed on the Palestinians, and everything that's about Israel, it's painted out to be this perfect place where really it's operating a concentration camp in the Gaza Strip. CNN, Fox, mainstream, everyone has an agenda. Everyone has an agenda. We just saw today Douglas Murray debated Dave Smith on Joe Rogan, and it came throughout the conversation. Douglas discovered Dave has never been to not just Israel, not just Gaza, he's never been to the Middle East. A former comedian turned claimed expert on foreign policy comes on to Joe Rogan, establishes a massive platform, a massive voice. He has a lot of influence, just like Hitler did. Massive platform, massive voice, and a lot of influence can change the psyche of an individual. People today, you could be a 14-year-old on TikTok who is from South Dakota, who chose to start talking about Israel-Palestine because that's what he or she wanted to do. And in a year, they could have such a large following on TikTok that they are now influencing how other people think and what they believe about something that requires a deep historical context and understanding to begin to have any skin in the game. The entry point, the barrier to entry is almost nothing. And because it's almost nothing, And because the popular opinion is to just blame the Jews, what do you think is going to happen in 2025? What do you think is going to happen? Trump's Nazi, BB's Nazi, Israel's Nazi. Go out to all the protests. I'm not making this up. You can see it for yourself. That is why the world chooses to just mask their anti-Semitism, their Jew hatred, for anti-Zionism. Really? Because if it is only about the Zionist entity and the state of Israel over there, why are Jewish students at Penn getting harassed? Why are Jewish students at universities in America, why are Jewish families in Europe getting chased down the street? What do they have to do with that entity called Israel? Riddle me that, please. If you want to continue the conversation, you can support my work for free. Discord does not cost a thing. It is the best way to connect with me and others who are seeking the truth. The link is in the description. But if you want to take it one step further, my Patreon gives you access to the Israel you don't see, uncovering the untold stories of what mainstream media does not show you. The link is in the description and it helps me to continue this work. Or if you're just looking to help this thing go, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee is a really easy way to support me. This channel, this work does not happen without all of you. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time.